You guys can head back to your seats. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. All right, I got you, girl, I got you. All right, no, later, you gotta go back to your seat. You gotta go back to your seat. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to that. Thank you. What up? Okay. To infinity. To infinity. Now, as you are going back to your seat, I want you to know right now, infinity is a very, very, very long time, okay? If you do not know, or if you do not know elementary school very well, infinity means forever. Forever, forever. Some of you have never seen the Sandlot. Now, it would be very, very difficult to hold something forever. It would be very hard to know that you have to carry something by yourself forever. Matter of fact, there is this book called Post Secrets. Now, Post Secrets, just to tell you guys a little bit about this book, back in like 2004 or something like that, there was this artist. And their question was, can I have your secret? Can I have your secret? So this is what they did. They sent out, I think it was like maybe 3,000, maybe 30,000. There's a big difference between 3 and 30. But he sent out a couple thousand of these postcards. And on the postcard, it just said, hey, what is your secret? And I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know where you're from. I just want to know what's your secret. And with a month, this dude had over 50,000 secrets that had been sent to him. 50. Now, some of these secrets range from being really funny, and others of them get pretty serious pretty fast. For example, we could play one right now or show one right now. This secret says, while others pray at church, I bow my head and think about the TV programs I plan on watching. Don't laugh. Some of you know you do the same thing too. Yes, you do, little boy. I can tell. Now, I don't know you, but maybe. Now, the second secret. Let's see the next one. In 4th grade, my friend made me laugh so hard, I actually pooped my pants. We're still friends, and she never told anyone. Okay, that if you are a friend that keeps a secret about your friend pooping in their pants, you are a bestie for life, okay? You're a bestie. Yes. All right, next secret. People think I've stopped lying, but I've just gotten better at it. Now, it is very concerning that some of you are clapping and cheering for that. Because here is the thing about a lie. If you lie, you feel like you have to live by that lie. And if you live by a lie, eventually you die. A lie will never keep you alive. Do not live your life by a lie. It's never worth it. Next secret. I'm a firefighter, and I'm afraid the day might come when I'm not as brave as I'm supposed to be. I think sometimes we hold people up really high, but we forget that they're humans. And humans, we get scared and we get nervous. And I just think about this firefighter right here, and maybe he's been walking around and he sees people are like, man, you're so brave. But on the inside, he's asking himself, I don't know if I'm as brave as I should be. That is a lot of shame to know that you are not good enough to do your job. Or the next secret. Sometimes I wish that I was blind just so I wouldn't have to look at myself every day in the mirror. Now, if we're being honest, there are some of you in here, you share this same secret. And there are some in here, and despite all the cheering and yelling, there are some of you in here right now that secret cuts deep because you hate the way you look. And maybe it's not because of a physical thing, but maybe it's because of something that someone did to you. And every single time you look, that is what you see. And I'm sorry if that is your lie, if that is your secret. Full disclosure for you guys right now, I, I am not here to put on a show for you. Full disclosure right now, I have not practiced any of this. I have an idea of what I want to say, but before I came on stage, I just said, Lord, I need you to do this because I cannot do this. Because there's some lies in here that are bigger than right now. But there's some lies in here that we have to face because someone's life is on the line in this room. Mix is a fun place to be, but make no mistake about it. It's a place where life change needs to happen. Because for some of you, when you leave here, you do not know what's going to happen. For some of you, when you leave here, you think that you have to continue the lie that is going on in your life because this is mixed, but this isn't real life. This is not what I can do every single day. I can't hang out with my friends all the time. I can't play games all the time. Life is different than today. And I hate that there are some of you in here right now, you feel like this is as best as it's going to get for you this year. But that's a lie. For me, just so you guys know a little bit about me, my whole job is to go around the country and go to different people's schools, and I go to churches, and I talk to students, and we hold school assemblies. Over this past year, I saw over 150,000 students. Over 150,000. Now, I don't tell you that so I could feel good about myself. I tell you that because what I'm about to tell you next, you have to know I am telling you the truth and I'm being honest with you. I have heard hundreds and thousands of secrets. I do not know why throughout the time I've done this, people have just given me their secrets. I have not asked for them and they have given me them. And so when I tell you right now that there's no one that is alone in their secret in this room, I mean it. You are not alone. But this is the first time I'm going to ask for some secrets. So here's what I want to do. You guys are actually going to direct where this is going to go. In a moment, I only want 30 serious people, okay? 30 serious people. I want you to come up here as quickly as possible. Tonight, hold on, little boy. Calm down, calm down. About to bust out of here and race up here. Now, I will tell you one of my biggest secrets, okay? But in the meantime, as I am telling you one of my biggest secrets, when I say go, I just want 30. I don't want everybody up here, okay? Matter of fact, there will be a point where I'll say stop. But when I say go, I just want 30 people to come up here, take a postcard, take a pen, and go back to your seat. And I want you to write down your secret. I don't want your name. I am not going to tell someone. I'm not going to be like, oh, I think that person was over here. And no, I'm just going to collect that secret. And then one of these secrets, we're going to make sure we confront it with the truth. So, do not run up here thinking that this is a joke, because I seriously think that there is a life that is on the line in this room. So, when I say go, I just want 30. And I'm a little worried that the boys are the ones that are up here. It's dangerous. All right. Go. Whoa, hold on. All right, go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. If you don't got one, you gotta go back to your seat. If you don't got one, you gotta go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. I gotta, are you okay, child? Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. Go. Hey, no, you get down. You get down. You go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. Go. Get out of here. Go. No, you're done. You're done. No. Your secret is not listening. That is your secret. All right. Now go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. Now. Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Okay, now during this time, and I don't have a lot of time, so here is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you my secret, but in the meantime, if you have got one of those postcards and a pen, begin to write down right now. So, one of my secrets is this. I have to tell you a backstory here. One of my secrets, I had this friend, and his name is Peter. And Peter, back when we were in school together, we were probably like 7th, 8th grade. Peter and I, we were besties, okay? Peter and I, we did everything together, okay? Matter of fact, Peter and I, we would like go and hang out at each other's houses, and we'd like go to the same parties and whatnot, and everybody's like, man, you guys are like twins. I know he's white, you're black, you're like twins though. Salt and pepper's here. Now, there is one day though that my friend Peter and I, we're standing by our lockers, we're talking to one another, and then all of a sudden, Lindsay Anderson comes walking over. Now, I have to tell you, okay, I should probably stop using real people's names. But, oh my goodness, I actually think she lives in Florida. Now here's the thing. I'm sure Lindsay is a great girl today, okay? I'm sure she's awesome. But back when we were in 7th, 8th grade, minute that Lindsay walked by, we were just like, whoa, man, Lindsay was hot. And so we knew that one of us, we had to speak to this girl. And so Peter, he's like, Terrance, you got to talk to the last girl. I'm like, you don't understand. That last girl, she tried to bite me. It was a really weird relationship. And so we did what every single person does when they have a disagreement with one of their friends. We rock, paper, scissors. That's right, rock, paper, scissors. So we're sitting there like 1, 2, 3, boom, and I had won. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk to Lindsay. This is what I'm gonna do. Now, Lindsay, she was in my economics class. And I remember I'm sitting there one day, I'm sitting in my seat, she's sitting down here. I'm like, all right, here we go. And so I got a piece of paper and I began to write her a note. Because see, back in the day, we didn't have no cell phones. We had to write people notes. And so I took that note and I wrote it and I said, Lindsay, do you like me? Circle yes or no. You got to tell people what you want them to do. And so I took the note and I folded it up in that special kind of way and I sent it down the row. And I'm like, yeah, give it to that girl. Yeah. No, not you, the other girl. I don't like you. And so, of course, Lindsay, she got it. She looked at me, and she waved, and I was just like, you go, girl, you go. And then Lindsay, all of a sudden, she took out a pen, and she began to write. I'm like, hold on, Lindsay. I don't want to read your writing. I just want to read your circles. You don't need to write nothing. But she wrote something, and she took the note, and she folded it up in that special kind of way, and she sent it down the row. And I was just like, give me my note. Give me my note. I got the note, opened it up, and it said, Terrance, if you want to know the answer to that, you have got to call me. I'm like, hold on, Lindsay, hold on. I am a 15-year-old boy. When I get nervous, my voice sounds like I am possessed. But of course, later on that night, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, Terrance, you could do this just real easy. Just call her up, just be like, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. I was like, ooh, too black, pull it back, pull it back. So I begin to dial her number. Beep, boop, bop, boop, 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 bop, boop, 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 bop. We had older phones back in the day. And then I'm sitting there, all of a sudden I heard, hello? I'm like, hey, Lindsay. She's like, who is this? I'm like, sorry, Lindsay, this is Terrance. I'm really nervous right now. Do you want to go out with me? And then there's this long pause, and she goes, Terrance, of course I want to go out with you. And so I did that dance. that you do when you know no one's looking at you. And I was like, shine bright like a diamond. And so, Lindsay and I, we started to do everything that couples do when you first start going out. Lindsay and I, we would like come to school and we'd meet each other by our lockers and we would hold hands to our next class together. And then, of course, Lindsay and I, we would like come back together during lunch and share our mashed potatoes together. And then of course, when we got home, we didn't even have nothing to say. We would speak on the phone for so long. I'd just be like, just breathe, girl, just breathe. I just want to hear you breathe. And then finally, one day, after a glorious month, I knew that this was the one. So I did what every person does when they know they found the one. I introduced her to my mom. And I was like, Mom, I know I'm only 15, but this is the girl I'm gonna marry. And she was like, you're stupid. But I didn't care. And a couple weeks later, after a month and a half, I came to school. Lindsay was by my locker. I came up to her. She didn't say anything to me. She just handed me a note. And then she goes, Terrance, don't open it until you get to your class. I was like, for real? And so I went to my class, sat down, opened up the note, and it said, Terrance, I like you, but I don't want to go out with you no more. And I am crushed. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why would she break up with me? I thought she was the one. And I'm like, oh, you know what? My friend Peter, maybe he knows something I don't know. So as soon as the class got done, I'm running through the hallway. I'm trying to find Peter. You know where this story's going. And then I find Peter in the hallway. He's walking. I'm like, Peter, hold on. This girl, she wrote me a note. I don't know why she broke up with me. And then all of a sudden, Peter got this really weird look on his face. And he goes, I'm sorry, Terrance. I really like her. I'm sorry. Now, a lot of people would have been angry. A lot of people, this would have broken up their friendship. But for me, Peter and I, we've moved past that. And you know how we moved past that? Because I took that pain and I took that hurt and I stuffed it down. And you know what I learned? Not just that day, but even a couple years before that was, I'm not good enough. People, why would you like, thank you. See, the reason why that stuck with me, just in case you guys want to know, my parents, they got a divorce when I was 2 or 3 years old. And my dad, he would come, I have 2 older brothers. Sometimes my dad, he would come and get us. And one day my dad came to our house, walked through the door. He did not know I could hear him, but he came up to my mom and he said, I just want the 2 older boys. I don't want Terrance. And this is something that stuck with me for the rest of my life. And in that moment, I learned that if my dad doesn't want me, why would anybody want me either? So I took that, and I don't know if you guys have ever been hurt by someone so bad that it changed who you were, but that was me. And I hated who I was. I thought no one would care about me. So all the things that have happened in my life and my weakness, every single time that something happens, I take it as truth and I say, this is what I deserve. This is the lie that I have lived by for a long, long time. But you have to know something. Reason why we are here right now is obviously not just so we can worship Jesus, sing about Jesus, play games, but it's so you can believe Jesus, so you can trust Jesus. Matter of fact, David in Psalms 23:4, he writes, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Now, it can be very scary to hold on to something by yourself. But even in your darkest, even though you may be holding on to this, he still says, no, you're mine. Give it to me. I will guard you from this. I will fight this away from you. I told you at the beginning, I'm going to do this based off of what's going on. So here's how we're going to do this. There's one person in here, and I know some of you are going to be like, this is not real. This is very real. There is one person in here right now. you came up and you got a card, and oh, you know what? That's gonna tell who you are. I don't want to know that. All right. I need 10 people. Quickly, bring your card right here. Quickly, quickly, quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done, done. Everybody else, you got to go back. I need it right here, right here. Done, 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 done. Go, go, go. Get out of here. Get fuzzy head. Get out of here. All right, all right. Now, I don't got a lot of time, so you guys got to go back. You got to go back. You got to go back. All right. Now, thank you. That was a very black sit down. Now, I'm just going to pull out one secret, and I want you guys to know that there are other people in this room that share this secret right now. So I'm just randomly, I'm going to pull one out. Here we go. This one says, well, this one's actually pretty happy. I like this. I have a crush and only my best friend knows. That's cute. I like that. All right. We got to go. All right. Okay. This one says, I'm afraid to die. I feel like I might lose my family. I don't have to know the numbers to know that there's some of you in here that your families are broken. Matter of fact, they say that almost over 50% of people in this room, numbers say that you come from a broken home. So it could be very, very real for not just one, but for many of you to think that this is the last bit of your family. And that can be something that is pretty difficult to hold by yourself. But remember, matter of fact, in John 20 or 10, 11 through 18, Jesus talks about how he is the shepherd. And all these other people of the law, they would come to Jesus and they would be like, hey, you know what? They should listen to me. I built myself up and I'm the leader. And Jesus is like, no, you don't understand. I am the true shepherd. I care and I love my sheep. My sheep know my voice and I know theirs. The reason why Jesus is saying that he's a shepherd is because the sheep is one of the most innocent animals. A sheep does not go around and tries to hurt people. Matter of fact, when a sheep feels like it's in danger, you know what it does? It runs. And when it's not around a group, it feels like it has to protect itself. And what a shepherd does is, for one, he takes his staff and he uses it to bring them back. He uses it to guide them along their journey. And he takes the rod for when those wolves might come. And you know what he does? He beats them back. Some of you need to know that the lie that is making you run towards that cave that is in your life, that you are not alone in it. That there's someone that is fighting on your behalf. There's someone that wants to pull you out of that darkness. But a lot of you in here, you hold on to that secret. And you go deeper and deeper and deeper into that cave. And you think there is no one that can come there to get you. But I want you to tell you right now that Jesus is always close enough to grab you. Anytime you reach out to him, he will pull you out. But it starts with being open and being honest about the things that are going on in your life. And I'm not just telling you that Jesus is there and he loves you, and hopefully when you leave here today, you'll get a little tickle in your tummy and you'll be like, oh yeah, Jesus is real. No, Jesus, he shows his love. God shows his love through the people that love him. That's why you have leaders. That's why you have youth pastors. That's why you have all these people in here. Because they're not just here because they're like, yeah, I love hanging out with kids and I don't want to get paid and this is what I just love to do. Some of them, that might be true. But they're sacrificing because they want to show you the love of Christ. See, this is what we believe. We believe that God came down to earth and he wrapped himself in skin. And that was Jesus Christ. And Jesus lived this perfect life. But there were people that did not want him to be there. There are people that hated him and they thought he was a lie himself. So what did they do? They nailed him to a cross. But Jesus did not let them nail him to a cross because he was a weak Jesus. No, he let them do that because he knew that each and every one of us, there are going to be lies that we carried around. Sometimes those lies will lead us to hurt others. Sometimes those lies will lead us to hurt ourselves. And sometimes those lies will take us further and further away. And it will cause sin in our life. It will cause us to try to fix ourselves. But there is no one in this room that you can save yourself. And so Jesus said, I will die so they don't have to. And the cool thing about it was 3 days later, he came back from the grave. Now, this is not a zombie Jesus. This wasn't a Jesus that was like brains. No, this was a Jesus that was the real deal, and he defeated death. He defeated the hell, and he said, now I can lead you out. So, awesome thing about this is this. That Jesus, reason why he died is so that we don't just read about a Jesus that's in the Bible. That Jesus that we read about, he is with us now. We have our spirit. So when I tell you that you are not alone and he is close enough to pull you out of that darkness, I mean it because that is the Holy Spirit reaching for you and saying, no, I'm here with you. What you read about with me is very true. I got you. This is what we need to do when we find ourselves in that cave of shame, and that cave of hurt, and that cave of isolation. This is what we need to reach for, is to reach for him who is pulling you with his staff and saying, don't worry, I'm getting you out of this. Last story I'm going to tell you. This is a story that was actually in the news just a couple years ago, and it was about this dad. And this dad, he had a son named Christopher. Now, Christopher had autism. And Christopher, he did not talk a lot. Matter of fact, talking was a real challenge for him. But Christopher loved to be by the water. And so they would, every chance they got, they would try to go by the water with Christopher. Now, since Christopher could not talk a lot, the only way that they got Christopher to respond sometimes, him and his dad, they would throw out movie lines. And they would throw back one of his favorite movies that he loved. And anytime his dad said, to infinity, Christopher would yell, and beyond. One day, Christopher and his dad, they were out by the water. And then all of a sudden, this current came in, and it took Christopher out. But his dad, he did not hesitate. He jumped in the water and he went to go get his son. But the thing about it was, as they went and he grabbed them, if you do not know a lot about currents, in just a few minutes, you can find yourself miles and miles away from the beach. And pretty soon, they were by that, out in the middle of that ocean, and Christopher, he's right there near his dad, but the current became stronger and stronger, and his son began to get further taken away from him. And he was so worried about his son. And he wanted to make sure his son was okay. And so at first he's like, Christopher, do you hear me? In the sky, it's getting darker and darker. And in the ocean, when it gets dark, it gets dark. And so, and his quickness of his mind, as his son was disappearing in the darkness, he yells out, to infinity, and he can hear in the distance, and beyond. And each and every minute, now hold on, each and every minute that would go by, his dad wanted to make sure that his son was still there, and he'd yell out, to infinity, and very silently, he can hear, and beyond. But it got to the point when he yelled it out, his son did not respond back. He could not hear his son. They were out in the ocean for 12 hours. 12 hours. This man, throughout this whole time, was worried that his son was gone. In the morning, there's some people that came by on a boat and they saw him and they picked up his dad, and his dad got on a boat and immediately he asked, "Where's my son? Where's my son?" And the guy that was on that boat, they said, "We found your son. We found." And when he finally found his son smiled at him. And he goes, "And beyond." The reason why Christopher was able to make it through that night, he wasn't scared. He knew that his dad was there. He knew his dad calling for him. Each and every person in this room, I don't know the secrets that you hold. I don't know how dark it may be getting for you in your life, but hear me now, that in the darkest of valleys, have no fear, for you are with a God that is so close to you. And all you have to do is reach out and he'll pull you out. And that takes trust. That means for some of us, we got to be honest about what's going on in our life. We got to be able to trust that God has placed people in your life, leaders and pastors, to know that when you're in the darkness, they can give you the honest truth. Honest truth is, it does not matter what you have done. It does not matter what secret you have. You are a child of His, and He loves you. To infinity and beyond. Let's pray. Lord, I just thank you so much for bringing each and every student that is in this room, each and every person, that, Lord, no matter how far they may feel like they have been lost in this cave, no matter how long they may feel like they have been stuck in that moment, in that isolation, and that hurt, and that pain, and that shame, that, God, that you are able to make it through, and tell them, I have got you. I will pull you out of this darkness. I will guide you, and I will fight whatever needs to be fought to make you free from death. And so, Lord, I pray that when we leave here today, that we will leave knowing that we can trust you. And Lord, I pray for the leaders in this room, that they will know that they are good enough. That they will know that they are not just placeholders in this room, but, God, that you will place them to be here with their students. That when it is time to pull students out, they are good enough to pull them out, because you have brought them here. You have brought them and told them that you are going to be my arms. You're going to be my hands to help pull these students out. God, I pray that you will give them the confidence, not in themselves, but in you. We thank you and we praise your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.